My voice is kind of low because we're in the elk. I mean, we just heard a bull bugle like 10 minutes ago. Hey, Marc Warnke, they call me the goat guy. I'm back here in Elk Camp, and I just want to do a video for you. I haven't done one recently, and I've never done one in this camp, and I've been in this camp now for almost 7 years. So this is Elk Camp. It's a long duration camp, meaning I have it up for like 2 weeks, the limited the time, not quite 2 weeks. Anyway, you can see how I run my tarps. So I run 3 tiers, and remember, we shingle them. So the way that this camp laid out, it's kind of narrow. We got rocks. We're closer to the creek than I want to be. But first off, the layout, there was lots of wood. There was water close. I would like to be off the creek bottom a little more because when you're camped on the creek bottom, it's always cold. But this is a September camp, so not as important to be warm. The way this tarp structure runs, it's higher on this end as on this end. So what we do is we actually shingle it as we go. So they actually will run all the moisture and it never goes through between. And we have about 20 feet of tarp here total. It's actually more than that, it's almost 30. And then we like to put one guide tent underneath. And then in this camp, I like to have all my tents underneath tarps if I can in a long duration camp. I just can't here. So this one I set up, and it's really important to run trench lines. Now, by the way, where my goats sleep is in this area here. So my tents are there, my tarp and my living space is here, and the goats will sleep in this area here. I'll run a long line from there to that tree, and the goats will sleep right along that line. And if we got a lot of weather, I can tarp them as well. So kind of some detail if you want to come in. You can see when we don't have anything to tie to with our tarps, this is how we do it. And the other thing I want to point out, the main line that's run there is called mule tape. It's electrician tape or something. I don't know what the official name is. It comes in big coils. It's really cheap. It's super light, and it's crazy strong. So that's what I use for my main line. And then all my sub lines, I just use 550 cord. And when you don't have a tree to tie to, you can use something like this. And you can see we go down to a rock. And you can see we did it over there as well on the other one. So it's the only way to do it when you don't have something to tie to. So once we got our tarp structure, I always do pack in chairs. And again, my voice is kind of low because we're in the elk. I mean, we just heard a bull bugle like 10 minutes ago. So this is early in the season. We still haven't had a fire ban yet. We know one's coming. But when we are able to use a fire, this is how I build my fire pit. So I build my fire pit long and lengthy so I can build a fire here that I'm warming with, but I'm cooking here. So I clean nice wood underneath that I can control temperature with, but this is my warming area. So this is how I build my fire. And then I also build it to acknowledge this is a drainage that runs this way. So my wind's either this way or this way. So we can run the chairs here and here and nobody's fighting smoke. So that's a thing. The other thing that I'm pretty aggressive with these long-term camps is setting up drainage systems for anything that's not under the tarp and the tarps. So you can see I've figured out how rain's going to run off and how it's going to run. And every time before I leave my camp, because when we're in camp, everybody's stomping on this stuff. When I leave my camp, I cut all my drainage lines to make sure everything's ready for a torrential rain. And I'm not going to come back with standing water inside of one of my tents. And that's a big deal. The other thing you'll notice in here is I create tons of tables. The reason I do with things like all my tables that pack up light and pack in on the goats is because freaking camps, backcountry camps are yard sales. You can't ever find your stuff. It's always in piles. You always got stuff. So I like to have tables to kind of set things out, and I like real chairs. The other thing is you'll see I use these laundry lines. I cannot tell you how critical merino wool as a strategy and the sun can clean a dirty shirt while you're gone. The other thing is, I believe I've had this particular camp here for, like I said, going on 7, 8-ish years. I leave a dirty shirt hung every time. I've never had a bear in my camp ever once, and I think it's because of that. I'm not sure, but I think it's because of that. My water system are those platypus bags. This is the best way I've found to run water systems. I'm not a big filter my water guy. Some people I camp with do. These are easy to filter out of, and the nice part about these, it's 6 liters of water, and it's really easy just to fill it up and then fill anything in camp with it. So it's a nice mechanism, and it's also really easy to fill out of a creek. And I've had these probably 10 years, and they still sell them. And this part, the Ziploc doesn't work for shit. You just have to leave it like that. That's why I run these hooks, so it's kind of cool. All right, so that's the Elk Camp setup. Oh, look at our shower. Come here, this is fun. So this is our shower, and so we put up stones, we ran this little 550 cord, and this is this Nemo. I'm mildly happy with it. It was pretty expensive. I think it was like 160 or 70 bucks, something like that, or even 200, I don't know. And it works good, but it doesn't work great. But you kind of got a handle, and it's not a gusher, and yeah, but it works. But this is our shower, and I'll tell you what, having a shower after a couple of days of being a stinking fool out here in the elk woods, pretty nice. So anyway, I hope you find that helpful. That's my elk camp, and goats and their proximity. By the way, to speak about the goats, there is so much forage around this camp that I don't even make an impact even when we're in here for multiple days a season. There's tons of forage up there. There's tons of forage over here, so the goats have lots and lots of forage. So it's really a beautiful camp on all levels. So I hope you find that helpful. Marc Warnke, the goat guy, signing out. All right, you guys, I failed to mention this. Tarp setting is actually harder than you think it is, and the cornerstone of the baseline is the height of the center. Most people put it too low. See how high I have it up this tree? It's way up there. It's probably 20 feet. So how do I get my rope 20 feet up in a tree with this? So I just tie this mule tape to the end of it, and then this is my throwing stick. I have extra line, and I throw it up over a limb, and this is my weight that then pulls it back down to me, and then this is my secure point. So this is the secret. Hope that helps.